Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Oregairu. It is season 2, episode 13. It is the last of this season before the OVA, so you know what to do. As always, go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses, dot parts with real dots, and enjoy the episode. Once you've done, feel free to come back here to hear my thoughts about this, so see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. What an episode. I mean, the heck, so much in there. 2 pages full of it. And there are quite a lot of moments that really stood out. It's this pacing, right? Again, they could have put that in 2 or 3 episodes without problems, but they all crammed it into one. So, wow. Let's go. Let's see. We started off with the fact that it was not only about Hiki and Yui and Yuki this time. There is Komachi in the mix as well, because she is having her exams, and apart from seeing her once for a short moment when she's leaving, we don't hear anything about her. Which, by the way, just wanting to point out, and I did it during the reaction, Hiki is sending her pictures all the day from penguins and whatever. And I'm like, seriously, she has to concentrate. Just think about that, and your phone is vibrating all the time, right? You are trying to concentrate on your exam, and your brother is sending you cutie little pictures all the time. Whatever. So it's about her a little bit as well, but the main story is around Yuki, her problems, and towards the end, major storyline about Yui, Yuki, and Hiki, and what do we do about this strange triangle that they have. So it's a good one. So Yuki made cookies in the night, which means she stood up. I mean, she was still awake, might be a way of dealing with her problems, but in the end, there was this day where they made cookies for those they liked last time. So Yuki made cookies for Hiki as well. She made cookies for Yui for sure. And she gave out cookies in the beginning, which was she made a pack for herself, she made one for Yui, and she never showed the one that she made for Hiki, as we saw later. So she is struggling with giving him this, which means that there is something, which means that she's aware she might feel something more for him, right? And is afraid of it. And I mean, it's the major plotline of the whole story of this episode, especially Yuki speaking for herself. Yuki standing strong, right? And saying what she wants. So Yui was not aware that she made no cookies for Hiki, so instead she said, what about Hiki? So she even pushed her there. Which is another thing in this episode. Yui trying to help her friend, Yuki, to openly state towards Hiki what she's feeling. Or at least in half openly, by giving a present, by spending time, right? What does that mean? She's a nice girl. It was said later on by Hiki himself as well. She does like Hiki a lot herself, and still seeing that her friend does it as well, she pushes her forward. I mean, that's something it's not easy, right? So that's the one thing. In the beginning, it's like a first teaser for what is coming later on. And then we have Haruno appearing, like a guard dog, right? Like this, yeah, she's sent by her mother. This moment of, you are kind of not allowed to walk your own, I will pick you up from school like you're a small kid. All of that. And she confronted Yuki out in the open about not being able to talk for herself. You never know what to do. That was very insulting, very aggressive, very negative and bad. And once again, I'm conflicted, because I always ask myself in these moments, is it what she really thinks? Is it what she, is she really that negative way? Or is Haruno, by doing so, trying to push Yuki and to push Hiki as example to act? It is this moment, if you have a common enemy, right? Because nothing is happening before that. Yuki is just floating along, as we've seen in this episode multiple times. And when she's confronted, she has to find a solution. She has to find a way without being told what to do. And that's something that was pointed out by many in the past as well, by herself as well, that if she got a clear request, if she got that is what you need to do, then she will handle it, then she will do it, and she will do it pretty good in most of the times. But when she does not, when, life is just floating by, the problems are going by themselves, she has problems to find a solution herself, because she's not really good at standing up for herself and not at knowing what she really wants. The only thing she knows is she likes cats. Which, by the way, is weird if you think about that. When it was about this, what Yui is having is not a cat, it's a dog. So we have a cat person and we have a dog person here competing for the same boy. Just saying. So, I'm not sure about Haruno, what I meant to say, if she really was acting there or if it was really her. I still give her the shadow of the doubt that she might be just creating this moment to force this group to do something, to find a solution. And I think it would be kind of clever and fitting. So Hiki and Yui stood up for her, as it should be. And then Yui invited her to her house to stay with her for the night. So just as an example for this, you have nowhere else to go. Yes, she has, because she has friends. And we met her mother for the first time, Yui's mother, which is, yeah. So that is the boy, yeah, let's talk to him. No, mom, go away. Fantastic moment. Really good. Then we had the phone call. I'm not sure what was said there. Because they did not have us listen to what Haruno told to Hiki. And I think that might be pretty interesting and pretty important. But I guess they will maybe come back to that later. That there was something more that was said apart from your nice, right? And then Yui said, let's go on a date. Because we have this moment when Yui and Yuki are alone in the flat later on at Yuki's place. And Yui asks at Yui's place, sorry. And Yui asks, what do you want to do? And she herself interrupted herself too fast, because I think it would have been interesting to just wait a minute and see if anything is coming out of Yuki there. But instead she said, I think we should go on a date. Which was like, what? So she made a date for all three of them. And there we are again. So I think in many regards Yui is, and who would have thought that in the beginning, the one that really understands what is going on, really thought about it and tries to find a solution for it. The one that realizes, okay, we are both in love with Hiki, we both like him very, very much, and we are all three avoiding the problem because we are aware. If we face that, if we are true and honest, we cannot stay like that. There cannot be a triangle once two of us are a couple anymore, because the third person will be hurt, right? So she set up a date to see if there is like one last chance, something solving by itself, if there's one last moment where you can realize who it is, where Hiki will kind of decide this one it is, this one not, I don't know, right? It was a great date, you know, all the fishes, catfish, hammer shark and everything, so she shows a very good date, a nice place for it. And we had there were a lot of interesting scenes and funny scenes for all of them. But in the end, we have a moment of opening up from Yuki, which is this picture here. This moment of that she's unable to find a place where she belongs, where she is, who she is, right? Because she has no pillar of support. So this, you always were allowed to do what you want, although it is kind of given freedom, was a problem for her because she never knew what she wants. She never knew what to do. It is this floating around, hiding in the crowd, going with the flow, right? Yeah. So too much freedom can be a problem as well, as it seems. And it is this, yes, you do have freedom. You are allowed to go where you want until you hit this glass ceiling, which is very fitting here with the fish. You're free inside of an aquarium. You're never allowed to leave that. And the aquarium is the boundary set by her family, who says, in this case, her mother, who says, hey, you can do whatever you want within this golden cage. And that's it. I think that is the main problem we have here. So either she decides to break out, which she's struggling with because she really can't decide for herself, or she finds a place inside where she feels good, and it doesn't seem like she does. So that's one thing. Then we have the moment with oh, by the way, that moment happened because Yui was left alone with Hiki. The penguin thing, stay together, two persons for the rest of your life, and then Hiki is moving over to Yuki. So both of them had a moment of time with him alone, were able to open up. I asked myself if there was a moment outside with Hiki and Yui, which was not shown. So it is, they put in a nutshell what was all through these 2 seasons. This fact that the 3 are struggling with each other, with who is partnering up. And then we had this, I don't know what it is called right now, the big wheel, right? Where they were riding on. And we had Hiki. We're thinking about it, that it is so unsecure, so fragile, and yet it's moving, and it's moving in circles. It's not going forward. So that is something he kind of feels like himself, I guess. But still, he ended, but still. So he sees that there is progress. And then we have, and that was a surprise to me, and I really like it, Yui standing up and saying, okay, I will end it here now. We tried, right? We have a whole year of school. Everything will change now because classes, right? They don't even know if they will stay in the same, but even so, we are a problem. We are in a problem, and we are a problem, and we can only solve this if it is put on the line, if it is a task we as the club will have to deal with. So she puts up one final task, and that is figure out our own feelings. She did not say directly what it is, and it was even pointed out by Hiki that she does not say it clearly. But every one of them knew what it is about. And she even said that once they did this, it will never be the same again. Because it can't be, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is winner takes it all. There was this fight, this thing happening between Yui and Yuki, and the one that wins can force the other one to accept any one thing, one request. The other one will do everything you ask. And Yui say winner takes it all. I will take all if I win. And that means she will take Hiki if she wins, right? So it is towards Yuki the no more moping around, no more evading, no more dodging and not talking about it. Either you fight for him and you open up, or I will take him now. Now. That's the danger you have to face, Yuki. In our friendship, right? And then, and that's interesting, she was, but I want us to stay as we are now, forever. So, there is the danger. What is your decision? If you have the option, we can stay like that forever now, in this endless wheel of returning, and not moving forward that was mentioned before, right? Do you agree? She did not ask what's your option. Do you agree? So it is this here. I give you an answer on the silver plate. And you, as you always did in your life, as people say, just have to say, yeah, I agree with you. You don't have to do yourself. And you know it is wrong. kind of should know, right? So she gave it to her, and it was a trap, but not in an idea of a trap. It was this moment of Yui hoping that maybe, just maybe, Yuki would answer no, which would be her own statement, or as she expected, and I guess kind of we did, Hiki would step in, because then he has to make a decision, and this endless spinning wheel, all is the same, no one is opening up and standing for what is going on, is not only Yuki's fault, it is Hiki's as well, because he is the one in the middle between two girls, and he's not deciding. He's not saying, okay, I choose either one of you, right? He is the one who can make that call as well, and possibly even should, I don't know. But there's something else going on. It is this moment of Yui kind of forcing Yuki to agree on something, to show her you are never standing up for yourself. And I liked that, I loved that moment of Hiki thinking about the two girls there. Yui being the nice one, always being the nice one, as she was in this moment. She's the one taking the blame. She's the one putting it out on the plate. She's the one forcing the other ones to go on a date. She is the one standing back with her own feelings, still giving her friend a chance. Although she knew, by playing unfair, as she said, I play dirty, she could have won already, right? So she is the nice girl. And Yuki, and that's interesting, in the view of Hiki, is the strong one. And I agree there. Yuki, when we had the beginning, the first episodes, was portrayed out of the view of Hiki as a strong female character. As someone who is clever, who is beautiful, who stands for herself, who is true to herself, who knows how to act and what to do. That was the beginning of the portrayal, that she's a strong one. And now towards the end of all this season, we see she's not. She is insecure in so many ways. She's pushed around by her family. And that is something that hurts. So in this moment when Yui is starting to do that, and as I said, she does not do it without reason. She does it to help in this moment, to force her to break out. When Yui does it, Hiki realizes, no, that's not the way it should be. Yuki has to decide for herself. And he opens up. He tells it. He says, no, stop, ending. As I said, he's the other one who could do this call, who has the shot there, and he does it. He breaks it, right? He pushes the brake and he says, stop. She has to decide for herself. So both of her friends show and tell Yuki what's going on and what is wrong, and as harsh as it may be to understand that about yourself, that at least partially Haruna was right. You always did as you were told. You never decide for yourself. So that's a big moment, and I do understand it in so many ways. I think I talked about that. That female friend I had in the past, which in very many regards feels a bit like Yuki to me. This a person which I respect very much for her strength and for her abilities. Where I always had the same problem, that she is not standing up enough for herself. Because I think many people saw this strength in her, and she did not use it properly, did not stand up enough for herself, just was moved around by others and used, right? So I see that in many ways, and well, that's an interesting thing here, this concept and the struggling with it. I really like it. Very good. The question now is, we ended off with Yuki then saying, okay, I have a request. So I kind of guess having a request, I hope she has like her own decision in this moment, right? It would be a step of development. And then we ended there. It's like, yeah, cliffhanger. Thanks a lot. Now I'm a little bit worried, because what we have in front of us is an OVA. And I don't know if there will be another season. Because if there is just the OVA and nothing else anymore, it might mean OVA is about this request and is finishing this problem is finishing the issue of Yugi. I don't need an answer who is going to be the partner of Higi here. I really don't. For me, in this moment, the bigger thing is, will Yugi stand for herself? Will she stand up? Will she make her own decisions? Will she confront her family and find her own way? Because that would be a great ending of this whole storyline, of the whole shebang. It's as hard as it is, right? That would be great. What I'm worried is that we have another season and they just start from zero. They are just like, okay, let's go about this triangle again, because that's something I really don't like. I had that in the past in other series, not such ones, but there are like TV series from the past. I don't know, there's so many. Castle and the like, where you have secondary to the main story, but later on becoming primary love stories developing between two characters, which are stretched like rubber band over multiple seasons. And I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 seasons, and it's just like, seriously, it's not entertaining anymore. It's just them not getting to be together. So that would be too much, right? So I really hope that if there is another season, which I would like, that it is not so much about who is this triangle choosing. It would be cool if there would be like a decision moment, and then it's like, we are still friends, if they can find a solution there. Although I agree it's a hard thing to do. Or just none of them. I don't care, but not so much about it anymore then. Because it just gets too much and it loses entertainment factor. So, we will see. Looking forward to the OVA. That's it from me this time. I liked it. Was a really good episode. Was a good season so far, right? And I will see you for the OVA. Until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.